Hey guys, Roger here, bringing you another quick reflection from my book. This one is on the Sabbath and how I think the Sabbath interplays with our work, and maybe some deeper reflections and deeper thoughts on what we should be pulling out of the Sabbath and how we should be honoring it more fully. At its in prior videos, I've referenced this theory of active rest. This is the divine blueprint for work, right? So we see God really teaches us how to work in Genesis 1. 6 days work, seventh day rest, 6 days work, seventh day rest. This is to have a full work product. This is what is necessary. This is the step. This is the image of work. 6 days work, 1 day rest. What's interesting though is if you stop and reflect, God has no need of rest. He is not exhausted from his creative process in Genesis 1. Rather, we read that God hallows his work, if you will. He stops and re-enters his work on the seventh day. And I think this is very key to us. We too have to stop and look back at our work, analyze it, find ways in which God was present, find ways in which we didn't identify God in our work. But it's this period of stopping and reflecting back on, and then in our case for now, looking forward. What do we change? How do we adjust? How do we do better next week? This is the way in which we will see God in our work, is this stopping and this reflecting. And we should do this more regularly than just once a week, no doubt. But at a minimum, you have to stop for 1 day a week and spend time reflecting on your work product, reflecting on your process, reflecting on your family, how you're representing them in your work. Are you really giving the most of yourself to work? Are you really doing everything you can to benefit the lives of others through your work? These are all core questions that can help us give better of ourselves at work. This is the Sabbath, the seventh day, has always been and stands for us now as a precursor for the life that is to be in the future, right? Eternal heaven. So once Jesus comes again, we have we are all new creations at that point. There will no longer be any need for this type of labor, this type of work. Rather, this seventh day, this Sabbath rest, is a prefigurement of heaven to come, where we are all reflecting back on the beauty of God's plan and how his divine fingerprints were always at work in our lives, how he had saved man in the story of salvation. And in heaven, we are going to look back and give God praise for his glory and give God praise for his plan and his divine will and his love for us. So the seventh day really images heaven. You're stopping and you're reflecting back and you're giving God thanks. It is simply that now we also have the ability to look forward in time in the current Sabbath rest and plan for it. Look back, identify what you need to change, and look forward and find ways to implement that. I'll leave with two parting points. The first is this: if you find it hard to rest, if you're not at ease resting, if you're not at ease reflecting on the past, reflecting on your previous week, reflecting on your work product, if that makes you uncomfortable and you would rather just work 7 days a week and go, then why would you want to go to heaven? Why would you want to spend time in heaven doing what you hate to do? It's a very similar question of why would someone who doesn't pray want to go to heaven? Because you're going to spend eternity with someone you don't know. It makes no sense. That's an aside. That's a different point. But the question still remains. If you find it hard to rest on a Sunday right now, how are you going to spend eternity resting and reflecting and looking back on your life? This is practice. Sundays are a practice run for heaven. So do it well, practice well, stop working, look back on your work and plan for your week ahead for how you can identify God and be, quite frankly, God and Jesus to other people. And the last point I'll leave you with is, because we have to stop working on Sundays, and because we are meant to adjust our work, adjust our attitude, and adjust our work product on Sundays, it is truly then through the Sabbath that I believe man will return to God. If we can bring back the practice of the Sabbath, where everyone stops working, people reflect, and people think about their work product, then man will turn back to God and will find God again. But the more and more our culture values hardworking 7 days a week nonstop, we will only get deeper and lost. We will only get more lost, more questioning the ability of man to solve anything because he can't. It is our responsibility to stop working, actively rest, right? Actively reflect and adjust and make changes and plan accordingly. When we do this, we will be Jesus to other people. We will be able to give a gift of ourselves much better, much more efficiently, and much more effectively. So with that, I'll close it. That's my quick reflections on the Sabbath. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you guys have a great week, and we'll talk to you later.